taught to be a mirror, not a person. From the very beginning, maybe before you even knew your own name, you were taught to reflect, to smile when others smiled, to cry when others cried, but never too loudly, to listen more than you speak, to be more agreeable, not because you agreed, but because you were afraid not to be. You did not learn yourself, you learned them. To the expressions on other people's faces, like when they are proud of you or disappointed, you learned the rhythm of others' expectations and bent your heartbeat to that. This video isn't just about reflection, it's about rebellion. It's a reclamation to your identity, your voice, your worth. Because today we'll talk about how the world teaches us to subtly be a mirror, how to break the glass and become a person again. Let's go deeper. What does it mean to be a mirror? It means your value was tied, how well you reflected others. You were praised when you were agreeable, when you were obedient, when you were accommodating. You were told that you are good when you adjusted yourself so that someone else could feel better about themselves. This conditioning shows up early. Girls are taught to be soft, quiet, pretty. Boys were taught to be strong, silent, provider. But beyond the gender, first in different ways are told, don't be too much, don't be too different, don't be too emotional. So we internalize it. We become mirrors, reflective, reactive, pleasing. Forget that we have a shape of our own. When you are always mirroring, you become terrified of rejection. Fear that if you stop pleasing, people will leave. If you show your true self, your true emotions, people will not stay with you. It's not your fault. It was programming. It was survival. It was how you made it through. But now it's time to undo that. We lose touch with our authentic desires, suppress our emotions to keep the peace, build relationships based on performance and not connection, feel hollow even when we are surrounded by so many people. Mirrors don't speak, they reflect. They show what's in front of them. When you are reflecting, you don't know who you are. You don't know what makes you angry, what actually brings you happiness. Maintaining a perfect reflection is tiring. It takes energy, form, to pretend to stay still. First of all, it's lonely, not because you are alone, but because no one really knows you. At some point, maybe it's already happened, the mirror cracks. Maybe you said yes when you meant no, maybe too many times. The version of you that wasn't real, and you had to keep acting to keep them close. Maybe you wake up one day and realized, I don't know who I am anymore. That breaking point is painful, but it's also sacred. Because when the mirror breaks, you start to see your real reflection. Not the one they wanted, but the one you were born with. And it's okay to fall apart, to unlearn, to step out of the role. You were taught to be a mirror, but you can be a person again. You will grieve the mirror because it kept you safe. Well, now you can finally breathe. Start to becoming a person again. It begins with small things like saying no when you want to say no. Ask yourself, what do I think before agreeing to anything? Self, what you actually enjoy doing when no one is around you. Time with people who don't need you to perform. Let yourself be emotional, loud, messy, and different. And it's a slow process. You won't wake up one day and be whole. But each time you choose honesty over harmony, truth over performance, self over reflection, you reclaim yourself. Keeping a journal, not for anyone to read, but just for yourself. Write whatever you feel and not what you should feel, but write what you are actually feeling in that moment. Out your opinions, loud, even when your voice shakes. Try new things, not because they make sense, but because they make you feel alive. It doesn't mean becoming hard. It actually means becoming whole. Not polished, not perfect, but true. But taught to be a mirror, to shrink, to reflect, to please. But now you get to be a person with desires, with boundaries, with voice, also with messy feelings and beautiful flaws. The world doesn't need more mirrors, they need people who are unapologetically real. So if you're watching this, consider this your permission slip to stop reflecting what they want and start being who you truly are. Not here to decorate someone else's story. You are here to write your own, narrate your own, and to perform your own story, and not what other people wants you to perform. Take the mirror, step into your soul, and never ever look back again. Thank you for being here, and remember, you're not alone. You're not too much. Not a reflection, you are a revolution, and the time has come now.